L'ordinador que fem servir per la navegació, per mirar la meteorologia i on són els altres vaixells, que és aquesta d'aquí. I com podeu veure, aquesta franja de colors més fosca és la zona dels doldrums, que és una zona on hi ha menys vent. Aleshores aquí tenim el We Are Water i aquí estem nosaltres, que estem intentant creuar aquesta zona i que un cop la deixem ja tindrem els vents de nord-est per acostar-nos cap a Gibraltar. Aleshores el que es tracta és de passar-la el més ràpidament possible per deixar la zona de menys vent, ja que és una zona que és incerta perquè els vents són canviants i...
So that was Aleš and Didak on One Planet, One Ocean, having some problems with the weed, Sargasso weed, a couple of days ago. They managed to sort themselves out, though. They avoided swimming with a little bit of innovation. They constructed a hook made out of a sail batten and some duct tape, and they managed to remove the weed off the keel and the rudder. And that saved them from swimming too much. Obviously, they were feeling the hot breath of We Are Water on their backs all the time. I think that Aleš had swum a couple of times, but they have managed to sort themselves out. They were joined by Pierre-François Bonneau, our French colleague. Pierre-François, a weed problem then for Aleš and Didak, and a close race.
Yes, a very close race for them, and a very good job they did during the doldrums, because they tried to pass on the east of We Are Water, and it was a good option because actually they are around 100 miles before We Are Water. So I think it will be very interesting for the end of the race to see the performance of these two boats.
Indeed, anyway, we are live in Barcelona. Welcome. We're waiting for Xemeni Pujola, Bernard Stamm, and for Jean Le Cam. Expected tomorrow, the leader since the 16th of January. A little grey, a little overcast. PF has brought the weather all the way from Brittany to make the French skippers and Swiss skippers feel at home tomorrow. But the ETA, well, we asked Bernard Stamm, and he just said it will be tomorrow. It's damp and wet and overcast. Anyway, our daily fly past over the fleet, Xemeni Pujola through into the Mediterranean in the east of the Albaran Sea. Then Neutrogena and Gaius Centros Auditivus upwind, approaching the Canary Islands, just across the equator into the northeasterly trade winds. We have One Planet, One Ocean now upwind and to weather of We Are Water. Renault Captur into better trade winds after a couple of days upwind in very light conditions. And Spirit of Hungary struggling very slightly in a transition zone, trying to get across into the southeasterly trade winds. So PF, I think you spoke this morning with Bernard Stamm, and how was he sounding? He's very much still focused on the finish.
Yeah, in a way, he's not so much focused on the finish. He said that the most important is to try to finish the race. Before to have passed the finish line, you have never to consider that the race is finished. And for them, it's really important. And Bernard told us that it was quite difficult for them because they are waiting for strong winds for the end of the race. So they wait to see how things will go, and perhaps they will become very clear when they should see Barcelona.
Indeed. I mean, do you think that part of this caution is because they've been visited by bad luck so often in the past, both Jean and in particular Bernard? They really just won't believe they've won until they cross the line.
In a way, and also because sailors don't really like to say, no, okay, so it's finished, we've won, perhaps because it's a way just to give bad luck to you, so perhaps they prefer to be very, very cautious.
We did speak with Bernard at length this morning, and this is what Bernard had to say.
Ça va, c'est un peu... Sur le moment, c'est un peu mou, là. On a 2 nœuds de vent, donc on avance à 2 nœuds. Et on essaye de progresser, mais voilà, faut être patient. Il fait à peu près beau, il fait pas très chaud, il y a un peu de mer résiduelle, et puis il n'y a pas de vent. Ça change un peu parce que c'est sûr, il y a des passages un peu plus côtiers, quoi. Par contre, je pense qu'il y a vraiment une perception différente des gens. faire que nous, quoi. Nous, on ne se sent pas arriver, on ne se sent pas être arrivé, on se sent devoir arriver, mais pas l'inverse, quoi. C'est-à-dire que le trajet n'est pas fini, quoi. Alors non, demain, quoi. J'espère, demain. On n'est pas à l'abri d'une molle qui colle, hein. Je veux dire, je sais pas, il y a les routages, ils nous disent des choses, mais bien qu'on les tient pas ou qu'on est des fois très largement devant. Donc, ça ne veut pas dire grand-chose, quoi. Là, les routages que j'ai, là, ils donnent une ETA à midi, quoi. Il y en a un autre qui me donne une ETA à 14 heures, et puis le dernier qui est fait, là, il est franchement plus long, et il donne une ETA à 10 heures le soir, quoi. Eh ben, on a d'arriver aussi, donc on fait au plus vite.
Ouais.
Du coup de rouge, moi ça me va aussi, hein. J'ai laissé après une bière, une orange, une pomme, voir les gens, revoir la famille.
Great race. I think that they have a good boat, and these are two very big sailors, and they are demonstrating that all their experience. They have been lucky also, but you know, I think that this is not important because they are doing a very good race, and I think they deserve this also because they have a lot of experience, and for me they are the best of the fleet, so they are in the good position.
So Anna Corbea then, Gaius Centros Auditivas, offering her congratulations and a little bit of assessment, her evaluation of the race of Chamonix-Pougela. Pierre-Francois, she mentioned the word luck. Have they had an element of luck round the course, do you think?
Not really, I think, because they've got a lot of problems during the race. The first one was they lost a sail, an important sail. We don't know which one because Bernard didn't tell us, but they lost a sail just at the beginning of the race. They had the problem just to see where the wind were coming from, and after that they had the problem with the railway on the mast, and Bernard had to pass a lot of times in the mast of Chamonix-Pougela. He said, I don't know how many times I had to climb up the mast, but it was impressive.
Indeed, I mean, he said he's lost count how many times he's been up the mast. You have to say that the South Atlantic in particular was quite kind to them, although the Pacific was not so kind.
No, it wasn't really. In a way, they did a lot of job on the boat, and they had to work very, very hard just not to stop. It was one of their aim. It was not to stop in New Zealand or something else, but they succeed in it, and perhaps that one of the reasons they are so far away in front of the fleet.
Indeed, I think that will be one of the powerful moments tomorrow, is remembering that they haven't stopped. It will be a non-stop race for them. But as you said, PF, they had some problems, or they have some problems on the boat. All will be revealed tomorrow, of course. But this is what Bernard said this morning about their technical problems.
On en a eu quelques-uns majeurs, quoi. Enfin, après, on a toujours une quille, un mât, des safrans, pas de trou dans la coque. Donc, il y en a eu des trucs très embêtants, comme l'oreille de mât arrachée, pas d'info de vent, c'est la moitié du tour du monde. On a perdu une voile importante pour le sud. Après, on peut en lister quelques-unes, mais on subit un peu les problèmes qu'on a eu avec nos hooks et nos drisses, parce que les noix, il faut que ce soit en tête de mât pour le mettre. Comme c'est une voile qui est spécialement utile en Méditerranée, enfin, je ne sais même pas si c'est passé un jour sans qu'on ait eu une hiver. Mais après, c'est pas encore une fois, c'est pas des problèmes structurels ou des choses comme ça, quoi. Donc on a réussi à plus ou moins toujours avancer, même avec les ennuis, quoi. On a eu de la chance de trouver des zones de transition avec assez peu de mer, même dans le Pacifique, pour aller refixer le rail au mât, quoi, pour pouvoir réhisser la grande voile, quoi. Donc c'est bien, ça n'a pas été un long fleuve tranquille, quoi.
From here, from Weirwater, we congratulate to Bernard and Jan for his incredible race, and we are very happy that they win the Barcelona World Race, such a big race in the international ocean races. And the only thing that the second middle of the race they have sailed quite along, but they have do a very nice race.
They've been in a completely different universe from us since the start, and so I congratulate Jean and Bernard on their effort. But they've had a spectacular race.
So congratulations there, coming from Willie on board We Are Water, and also Conrad Coleman on board Spirit of Hungary, just extending their welcome to Barcelona and explaining what a good race it's been so far for Chamonix Pujola. And Bernard just saying they had lost that, confirming they've lost one of their key sails, have had problems with the halyard locks and the halyards. In fact, PF said that he has to go up the mast to set the Genoa on the lock, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's one more reason for Bernard to climb to the mast. And I'm quite sure we should ask the question to Bernard and Jean, but I'm sure that always Bernard would climb to the mast and Jean would stay on the deck.
The opposite way around would be a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
And how do you think they're going to feel about, finally getting the race completed and have a win under their belt? What will it mean for them?
I think for Bernard it's really important because it can be the last big race with his sponsor, actually Chamonix Pujola. So for him, I think it was quite important because Chamonix Pujola is now with Bernard for a lot of years, and so it's a good way to finish this partnership. And for Jean and perhaps for Bernard, it's a good way perhaps to be at the start of the next Vendée Globe.
Indeed, and obviously Bernard had some problems and lost his boat, so this will be a nice comeback from that point of view.
Yes, it's really a very nice comeback because for Bernard, he was really affected to have lost his boat, and now he can finish, and he finished very well with Jean Le Cam, and it's also, I think, the beginning of a big friendship between the two sailors.
Indeed. Anyway, the weather does look quite complicated for tomorrow for the finish, and our race direction colleagues will explain the situation for Chamonix Pujola and the rest of the Barcelona World Race fleet.
Good morning, everybody. Today we are the 24th of March, and let's have a look on the weather forecast for the Barcelona World Race. So Chamonix Pujola is right now sailing in very, very low westerly winds, and so they're trying to pass probably between Ibiza and the shore. So let's have a look on what's going to happen this afternoon at 15 hours UTC. The boat should be just in between Ibiza and the shore, so they will be in north winds, so they have to sail upwind in very, very light winds, so it's going to be a difficult moment. A bit later today, around 22 hours UTC, they should be more along the coast, still in north wind between 25 to 30 knots, though they still have to sail upwind in difficult and strong wind condition. Around 5 UTC tomorrow morning, they will have northwesterly breeze, so they're going to be rich sailing and going faster, and then they will have to arrive in Barcelona in lighter wind condition with heavy seas, so the finish will be a bit difficult. So concerning Neutrogena and Gaes, Neutrogena is 780 miles away from Gibraltar Strait, right now sailing in 20 knots of north winds. And Gaes, a bit more in the south, is having 15 to 20 knots northeasterly breeze. For One Planet, One Ocean, Farmaton, We Are Water, so they are yet totally out of the doldrums and sailing in the northeasterly trade winds between 15 to 20 knots. Renault Capture is sailing in easterly breeze along the Brazilian coast, something like 10 to 15 knots of wind, and they are approaching the doldrums where they should arrive in 2 days, and they are probably thinking about pass in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean or next to the coast. And for Spirit of Hungary, they are still sailing in southeasterly breeze between 15 to 20 knots, and that's going to be the case for the next 48 hours.
So one final hurdle then for Jean Le Cam and for Bernard Stam, getting through these strong winds off the Balearics this afternoon, and then tomorrow light winds into the finish, and that's what's making the guessing the ETA tomorrow so difficult. But join us again tomorrow when we will be live for the press conferences throughout the afternoon. PF, thank you very much. And let's listen to some of the congratulations and the words from the rest of the fleet.
Well, we think that Bernard and Jan, they are doing good. They are going really fast. And, well, they are leading the race in 2 hours as is mastered. So I think they are really showing us every day.
Well, I think they've done a really good race. They haven't done any major mistakes. And they choose a really good boat. So I think it was a combination of a nicely prepared and nicely modified boat and a good team.